We were acting like college students in, parent bodies, and you just can't keep up that kind of lifestyle. This is a long road down a big black hole.
Eric and Mary Linka married in 1998 and never saw the black hole ahead.
We were both, head over heels for each other, but we also had this drive that we saw in each other that was very exciting. And we knew that together we could make a lot of money and do a lot of great things.
Both had successful careers in their own right. Eric was a real estate developer, and Mary was a creative director for a real estate company and an artist. They worked hard and they played hard.
So we were always out having a great time.
I was very focused on making a lot of money young, so I didn't have to work as hard as my parents did.
Mary was drinking then, I was drinking then. Of course, all of our friends were drinking.
Before long, Eric and Mary had their first son, Zach.
Is this what we're giving him? Is just work, work, work. I didn't have time for him. I was too busy.
In 2005, Eric decided to parlay their wealth into a huge condominium project.
I thought I could sell it out and be able to retire and do what I wanted to do with my family. And I was being stymied by city officials, stymied by family members, and therefore I started to drink more.
In 2006, their second son, Joshua, was born. That same year, the housing market crashed. Eric knew they were in trouble.
When the bank came calling after 2 years of no sales, I was seeing the writing on the wall coming. I started to literally drink myself to sleep every night, or drink myself to pass out every night.
And he went from like this really, jovial social drinker to someone who was starting to pass out at 5 o'clock. I couldn't rouse him. We were having, arguments that he wouldn't even remember them the next day. I didn't want to drink anymore. I hated it, I started to really loathe the whole lifestyle. And I started to really hate him for checking out when he should be dealing with things. And it scared me, and I was thinking, this isn't what I signed up for. He was getting to the point where I didn't want him to take the children in the vehicles because someone told me they saw him drinking and driving.
She literally had to take me aside and say to me, it's either your booze or us. And that's when I really did start to have an epiphany that this social crutch turned into a gotta have it in the morning addiction. And after Mary told me that I would lose everything that we had, being them, Mary and the boys, that was too much for me to bear. So I told her I would stop drinking.
Mary began a search for spiritual help.
I went to my Uncle Sal's church, and I brought my son Zach to one of his services, and I remember sitting there and thinking, oh my goodness, this is what I was missing. This is true. All this stuff I heard, it all kind of just gelled at one moment, and I felt the power of the Holy Spirit came on me so quickly that I had it was dramatic.
Eric says that God was working on his heart too.
After the ultimatum, I really started to get into this daily bread book, and it had daily devotionals in it. And I started to read those, and they really started to sink in. And that is, I think, what really helped me start to focus more, because when I started reading those devotionals, it made me question more about where that devotional came from, so then I would go into the Bible and read more where that passage came from.
And it wasn't overnight with Eric. I mean, it was like I had to trust God day by day by day. I'd put one foot in front of the other. It came in millimeters. It didn't come in leaps and bounds.
With 2 children now and number 3 on the way, and no job prospects, the bank foreclosed on their home in December of 2006. They were forced to sell almost everything they owned and live in a camper while Eric looked for work.
We were completely blown away that this is where our lives had taken us.
We didn't know where we were heading out to. We just knew we were going to go for a new beginning. But we were both confident that God would lead us to where we needed to be.
We had to rebuild our marriage, but God was the foundation we put our marriage on, and then we built up from there. And that completely changed the whole marriage. We didn't count on each other to fill our needs. We counted on God to fill our needs and to respect and honor each other. Wow, what a concept, I know. But it works, it does. It works a lot better than the way we tried it.
After living in the camper for 7 months, Eric found a development job in Durango, New Mexico. Eric, Mary, and the boys loved their home in the mountains.
I think the Lord broke it down for us in very simple terms. I'm going to help break you back down so you can relearn what it means to be together as husband and wife. And it's painful, yes, but I'll be with you every step of the way.
We're about to celebrate our 14th year of marriage, and I absolutely would not want it any other way than to go what we've gone through together, because we are so much more to each other and for each other now than we ever would have been, regardless of how successful we could have been in the monetary and material worlds. Mary is who I married, and I feel very blessed to have Mary in my life.